Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central CFL content for the fans, by the fans. And we got a Blue Bomber signing as Tim White will be joining the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Now, I'm mostly pretty happy about, I say mostly in the sense of I know there are some concerns and whatnot. There's the occasional drop that he's had. But the fact of the matter is that this is a 1,000-yard receiver. He's gotten that 4 consecutive seasons. And so it's going to be a great addition to the Bombers. And one thing that I like, you know what the thing is? The least amount of games he's ever played in a season, 13. Because if he's playing slot, if he's playing that Dalton Schoen spot, yay, somebody we can keep healthy. Yay. That's so.
Can you look at your phone or your Discord?
Yes, I can.
I just sent you the depth charts that TSN posted earlier today. They just don't have Tim White in it.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll line up into there. And so with Tim White being added to this Bomber team, this is, to me, this signing more than any other so far, because this is kind of the first big signing from outside the organization into the organization, because we haven't hit the tampering window, so it hasn't happened much. But the organization came out and they said, listen, this last year we took a step back. We can't do that. We got to get back in this sort of thing. We got to make it clear, like we want to go back to that Grey Cup and we want to win that Grey Cup. Can't just kind of sit back and expect it to happen. And so this is kind of the first step in the Bombers showcasing that, is splashing in free agency, bringing talent in, not just promoting from within, which promoting from within is good. And there's a lot that you can get from that, but exclusively doing that, it's not always going to work out. Even if you think of Winnipeg winning the Grey Cup in 2019, how did they get it done? They splashed from outside. Matt Nichols goes down, and they could just sit there and be like, man, well, let's see how Strevler can do. No, they don't. They don't do that. They go and they find themselves a quarterback. That quarterback, Zach Collaros, got him 2 Grey Cups back-to-back, 2019, 2021, because 2020 season was canceled. And so they went and they made that splash. So the Bombers making that splash so far with Tim White. And we do have some information regarding his contract. Rick?
Yeah, so he got a 1-year deal. Includes $225K in hard money, a $75,000 signing bonus, with a max value of $231K. So he basically got the same contract, the 1-year contract that he got with Hamilton last year with Winnipeg. The only difference is you guys have Tim White. We have Kenny Lawler for 1 more year. So it's basically an even swap. The one thing I'm going to mention, and I've already mentioned this to a few people, when Tommy Kendall, when you start seeing his friggin' screen passes all the time, don't come bitching, because I can't say I didn't warn you. When you see Tim White dropping footballs in crucial times, a.k.a. the West semifinals or the West finals, and what could have been the game-winning touchdown becomes the game-losing touchdown, don't come crying to me, because I can't say I didn't warn you so. But those are only my 2 rants.
You know what's funny? If we ever get Tim White on the show, I know he's holding you accountable for that. And you know that too.
Listen, I've seen 4 years of it. Nothing's going to change.
Fair enough. But so he signs with a 1. Okay.
So there's one more thing that I'm going to mention.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone mentions that he had 4 1,000-yard seasons.
This is true.
I'll give him that. But last year's, it took him to the end of the season to get over that 1,000-yard mark.
Yeah, he was at 1,000.
Barely got it over last year. And he played in all games last year. The one thing I will give him credit for, his consistent touchdown numbers.
He does.
I will give him that.
He's had consistent touchdown numbers.
I will give him the bat.
And we have seen a slight drop in his receiving yards. Again, it went from Him in 2022 getting 1,265, up 4 yards the next year to 1,269, and then down to 1,164, and then down to 1,016. He was still over 1,000 all those years. And even if he is slightly under, I'm okay with that. I'm okay if he gets 900 yards. To me that's worth it, because you still have Nick Dembski, you still have Ontario Wilson. If Tim White was our only offensive threat as far as a receiver, and he couldn't get 1,000, then I'd be concerned. But because I look at him as part of that group of three, if he gets 900, I'm okay with that. I think if he gets under 900, that's where we'll kind of run into maybe some concerns there in regards to kind of what the expectation was with Tim White, just because the big marketing thing is you're talking about a 4-time 1,000-yard receiver. So you want him to at least be close to that.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be White instead of Lawler without Schoen.
Although, to be fair, you have to realize that I'd argue that Ontario Wilson fits more of the Kenny Lawler role in Winnipeg in terms of the utilization.
But what I'm saying is, not last year because Kenny Lawler was on Hamilton, but is last year. You guys had Wilson, Dembski, and Lawler.
Yeah.
And Wheatfall, I believe. Whereas you probably won't have Schoen because they probably won't re-sign him. So you'll have the same group, but instead of Lawler, you'll have Tim White.
I imagine. Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens at the depth receiver positions, because we don't know yet. We don't know if Winnipeg's going to try to resign Wheatfall or Stearns. We don't know if they're looking at a guy like a Charleston Rambo or a Sean Bain Jr. We're not sure yet, so we'll have to see what they do in that regard. All in all, even though I understand some of the concerns with Tim White, in the sense of he's not a perfect player, the same way we're not perfect content creators. We try to do our best, and he generally has done a very good job in his role with Hamilton. And so for all the talent that's been going from Winnipeg to Hamilton, it's finally coming the other way.
So just to kind of paint a picture here. So on the far side, it looks like it'll be Clarcius.
Is Clarcius still under contract?
What's that?
Clarcius is under contract?
Yes.
Okay.
So it'll be Clarcius, Wilson, Dembski. On the left side of Collaros, that inside slot back will be Tim White, because that's normally where Tim White usually plays. And then, depending on if you're going this way, on this receiver will either be a rookie or if you guys sign some depth.
Well, either that, to be fair, like on the depth chart you sent me, Rick, I guarantee you that if this is what would happen, they would take Corcoran from the other side and bring him across, and he'd be starting. Yep, Corcoran would be the starter. The Bombers have put more effort into giving Corcoran some time. If providing they're not going to sign anyone else, which I'm almost positive they'll sign at least one person else. Hell, it might be Drew Wolotarski returning to Winnipeg. It might just be that. We'll find out though.
Oh, I'm actually quite.
But that's pretty much all I got. Is there anything else you got there, Rick?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord, where we discuss all things CFL, NHL, all sorts of sports stuff. So make sure you guys go there and keep the conversation going. And before we get going, Rick has some news regarding CFL free agency, the live stream he's doing over on Hamilton Sports Central. Yes, we'll be doing some breaking news. We'll have some guests on there talking signings. We may see a trade because we saw a trade last year. We could see the total draft order, retired players, coaching changes, predictions, where you see, and I'm going to predict the standings of how I see them at the end of day number 1. Oh, there we go. So join in for that. But anyways, though, we'll see you guys next time.